And welcome. So no special props are anticipated for today's Hatha class. If you have a blanket handy, that's always nice. At one point, we might be on hands and knees. If that doesn't make sense for you, I'll offer an alternative to hands and knees. And today's practice will be exploring the bandhas. And this is a topic I've discussed before, but not recently. So bandhas is the Sanskrit word for locks, these energetic locks in our body. And we're going to get into these and feel them experientially. But I know that I really like to understand stuff intellectually. So that's what this little chat is about. So there are three primary energetic locks that we'll be using in our practice today. One of them is called Jalandhara Bandha, which is our neck lock, and that can essentially be accessed by bringing your chin in and then slightly back. So it's not a head forward position, but it is kind of locking this energy that might be rising up through the throat. And the other is our Uddiyana Bandha, which is the abdominal lock, and that can be accessed by kind of pulling your belly button. You can picture it drawing in and up like in an inward J. And these are done on the exhale. So all these locks are released as we inhale. But so the Jalandhara is the neck, Uddiyana is here, and then our root lock is our Mula Bandha, and that's a lifting of the pelvic floor, which sometimes can feel a little difficult to connect with. It's essentially if you were urinating, it's the muscles that you would activate to stop that flow of urine for a moment. So that's the Mula Bandha. We have Uddiyana Bandha, and then we have our Jalandhara Bandha. Again, I'll walk you through that. I just like to have that picture in my mind, and I thought you might appreciate it also. So let's begin by coming to a comfortable seat. And as you come to your comfortable seat, you can invite your eyes to close and your spine to lengthen. Just taking a moment here with your eyes closed, becoming aware of anything you can hear in your environment. Just allowing those sounds to be present without trying to identify them. Along with listening to your environment, just envision your space. So eyes closed, but simply aware of the space around you. And here, inviting that awareness to the space within. Notice if any sensations are present today in your body. If any emotions are rising to the surface in this moment. And just as we do with sounds, not trying to distinguish what different emotions or sensations are tied to, just noticing their presence. And observing from this detached inner gaze any thoughts present in your mind. We'll begin today with an alternate nostril breathing. If you are unable to breathe through either of your nostrils here, I'd like you just to imagine that you're following along without stopping your flow of breath at all. But if you are able to breathe through the nostrils, we'll take one hand and you can lightly rest your two fingers, point your finger, middle finger just above your brows. Your thumb and ring finger can rest just above each nostril. I'm not blocking the flow of air here, simply resting. And here we'll take a smooth inhale through both nostrils and a complete exhale. And next, I'd like you to cover your right nostril and inhale through your left, blocking your left nostril, exhale through your right. Follow that exhale with an inhale also on the right hand side. Again, block your right nostril, exhale through the left. Inhale, left. Exhale, right. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. Inhale, left. Exhale, right. Continuing this, but finding your own pace. Each time that you exhale is followed by an inhale on that same side. Each time you inhale, you're exhaling through the opposite nostril. We'll spend just a moment here in silence with this Nadi Shodhana. And the next time you exhale through your right nostril, keep your eyes closed, but allow your hands to come back to your lap. And simply here, present with each breath. As you're ready, we'll invite our eyes to open and our awareness to come back here. And we'll transition to hands and knees. So if hands and knees is impossible for you this morning, I'll just invite you to the edge of your chair and you can follow these movements along. Otherwise, you might want to lay something soft down underneath your knees to protect them. And planting hands underneath your shoulders, knees beneath your hips, begin to find our cat and cow movements here. So drop your belly down, pull your heart forward. Here's your inhale. Begin to curl your spine in as you exhale. Press the center of your shoulders up. Release the weight of your head down. And starting at your tailbone, begin to reverse that movement. Lifting your tailbone, dropping your belly down, lifting your gaze up. Moving between these two. This nice rounded back of your cat pose. That flat, broad back goes with your cow pose. Just feeling into how these movements feel this morning, noticing if there's any tightness or tension. And you might adjust your movements to help your back feel better. You might choose to hold in one of these positions if that feels good for you. Good. Let's pause here. Find a neutral spine. Good. And from your neutral spine, walk your knees in towards each other. Keep your hands exactly where they are. Tilt your hips to one side. Bring your gaze over the opposite shoulder. So making a C shape of your spine. Good. And we'll do this opposite motion, moving through center, gaze over your other shoulder. Shifting from side to side, finding this nice opening and stretch in your side body. Maybe even feeling into a little sensation in your hips here. And we'll do one more on each side, bringing yourself into a state of equilibrium. Good, and then bring yourself back towards center. If you do have some support beneath your knees here, you might want to scoot that out of the way. We want to come all the way down to the belly here, supporting your head, coming into our crocodile pose, or because we're here in Florida, our alligator pose. And here you can rest your chin or your forehead down on folded hands. Let your legs be long. You might make a little shift of your legs wider away from each other. You might choose to wiggle a little into your hips to release your low back. Just take some nice breathing here. Good. Feel your body release here into the floor beneath you. Good, and from this belly down position, we'll begin to access the first of our 3 bandhas. So that's that mula bandha, that lifting of the pelvic floor muscles. So as you exhale next, begin to activate any muscles that you feel like you can activate down at the base of your pelvis. And it's just a very slight lifting and a tightening. Release those muscles as you inhale. And so as you exhale, find that little lift, that little sense of tightening. And then release as you inhale next. Do that again 2 more times. Each time that you exhale, find that little drawing inwards, that tightening. Relaxing for your inhale. And once more, tightening for your exhale. And then relaxing. Good. Let's come back to our hands and knees, giving yourself that option of blanket beneath your knees if that's helpful for you. Now, if you can't do hands and knees here, I'll invite you to come to a standing position with your knees bent. Hands are going to be on top of your knees supporting you here, and your head is going to stay lifted. So this is a preferable alternative to staying seated if hands and knees isn't comfortable. I'm going to teach from hands and knees, but everything else is going to be the same for you. So here we're working with that Uddiyana Bandha now, that stomach lock. So as you inhale, I really want you to invite a sensation of all of your organs dropping down, right? So full relaxation in your abdominal muscles. As you exhale, envision that you're zipping up those abdominal muscles. So you can picture a narrowing as the transverse abdominis draw towards each other and a lifting, drawing your belly button in and up. Relax all of that as you inhale. Activate as you exhale. We'll spend a little bit of time here practicing that movement. So inhale, relaxing your abdomen. Exhale, find that sensation of zipping up, drawing everything inwards, belly button back towards spine. Each inhale, really relax, make space for your lungs to fully inflate. Each exhale, drawing in. Good. I'm going to take a rest here. So if you're hands on knees, you could come to standing. If hands and knees standing already, you could just come to standing and relax. If you're on hands and knees on the ground, you can come to kneeling. Just a moment here. So what we'll do in a moment is we're going to tie these movements together, right? So we're going to activate that Mula Bandha, that lifting of the pelvic floor muscles. Apologies, I had a call coming in. Lifting of the pelvic floor muscles, we're going to find that zipping up sensation, drawing the abdominal muscles in and up. And we're going to add that neck lock movement. So it's going to be at the very end of your exhale as you're pouring all of the air out of you. You're going to envision that you're drawing your neck in and back as if you're trying to hold a tennis ball underneath your neck. And again, this can be done standing, hands on knees, or it could be done from that kneeling position. So fully relax your muscles here. Good. As you exhale, first activate that Mula Bandha, that drawing in and up of the pelvic floor muscles. Then envision that zipping up of your abdominals. And finally, drawing your neck in and up. It's going to drop your gaze down. Releasing first your neck, your abdominal muscles, and the pelvic floor muscles as you inhale. So this should feel like a wave. And if it feels awkward to you, that's okay. This isn't something that we practice normally. The reason that we're working with this today, though, is it's a wonderful way to access greater energy in your everyday. This is a practice that can be done all by itself. In the morning, you could do maybe 5 or 6 rounds, activating that Mula Bandha as you exhale. That stomach lock, Uddiyana Bandha, into neck lock, and then relaxing all of that for each inhale. This is also something, though, that can be layered onto our yoga poses. And that's something that we'll be playing with today. So we're practicing here in this position, but I'll invite this awareness as we move into some different postures today. Good, so we'll do 2 more rounds. And again, if you're not doing it perfect, that's okay. We're just practicing, just playing. Good. Relaxing here. Any position that feels relaxing for you. And take a moment here, just noticing if anything has changed energetically for you or not. And let's bring ourselves into a standing position. So if you're not already standing, bring yourself to standing up towards that short front line of your yoga mat. Start with your hands resting by your side, your eyes closed. And here we're connecting with that back line of energy in your body. So feel your heels pressing into the ground. Feel your hips centering over your heels. And I say feel, not look, because I don't want you to look if you have a mirror. I really want you to feel this energetic connection. Hips to heels grounding down. Shoulders centering over your hips. Earlobes centering over your shoulders. Breathe into this inner space. Full relaxing exhale. And as you're ready, we'll inhale. Stretch your arms up, maybe reach back. Exhale, lengthen forward and down, coming into our standing forward fold. Bend your knees as much as they need to be here. Take your half rise. Nice big inhale. Then exhale, soften. Let your neck be long here. Head is heavy and shake your head lightly from side to side. Find that nodding of your chin in and out here. Good, next inhale, bring both hands to your hips, roll your shoulders open. Use your exhale to rise up. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, fingers reach up, maybe back. Exhale, hands come to heart center, Anjali Mudra here. Next inhale, let's come right back into that stretch up, reach back. Exhale, lead with your heart as you pour yourself forward into our Uttanasana. Find that half rise, stretch the crown of your head away from your sit bones and exhale, draw it in. Step back with one foot. Come into a high lunge here. Drop that back knee down. Good, here we'll take one activation of those bandhas as you exhale. So hands down on the floor or on blocks, big inhale. Exhale, activate that Mula Bandha, pelvic floor muscles lifting, belly drawing in, neck drawing in. Relax to inhale and stretch your arms up. Bring your palms towards each other, heart center. Lengthen forward towards that front knee, and we'll bring opposite elbow to your front knee. Top shoulder here is going to roll open. You might choose to lift your gaze up, or it might feel better for your neck to drop your gaze down. Option to keep that back knee down or press into your back toes, lifting your knee up and away from the ground. Good, find a steady breath here. On an inhale, unwind, extend your fingertips up. Exhale, bring both palms to the ground. If you were using blocks earlier, scoot those blocks out of the way. We want palms to meet your mat here. Press that back knee up if it's not lifted already. And step your front foot back, bringing yourself into our first Adho Mukha Svanasana today. Bend your knees as much as you need to. You might choose to bend and straighten alternate legs. Keep your hip points stretching back and away from those points of the heels of your hands down. Find a steady breath here. Inhale, lift your gaze up, lift your heels nice and high. Use your exhale to walk your toes forward to that front short line of your yoga mat. As you arrive, rise halfway, gaze down, spine long. Exhale, soften in. Inhale, both hands to your hips, roll your shoulders open. Use your exhale, rise here. Inhale, reach and stretch and extend. Exhale, bring both hands to heart center, and then rest your hands by your side. Take a moment here, close your eyes, full inhale, full and complete exhale. As your eyes open, find that lift of your fingertips up, maybe back. Lead with your heart as you pour yourself over that line of your hips, coming into your standing forward fold. Find your half rise here, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, soften in. Other foot is going to step back here. Good, bring that back knee down if it makes sense. Always the option to lift your hands on blocks here. Nice inhale, soft belly, soft muscles. As you exhale, play with those bandhas. Lift the pelvic floor muscles. Draw your belly button in and up. End of your exhale finds that action of drawing your chin in. As you inhale, release your chin, release your abdominal muscles, release the pelvic floor muscles, stretch your fingertips up. Bring both hands to heart center here. Good, nice lifted sternum here. As you lengthen over your front leg, rotate towards that front leg, hooking opposite elbow over your knee. Roll your top shoulder open. It's going to invite a slight sensation of leaning back of your shoulder girdle. And here you might choose to look up or you might choose to look down. Option for that back knee to be up or down here. Good, easy breath here. Full inhale, full and complete exhale. Next inhale, let's unwind, stretching those fingertips to the sky. Exhale, bring your palms all the way down to your yoga mat, fingertips spread nice and wide away from each other. Press your back knee up if it's not already. And step your front foot back, coming into this Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Take any little variations here that your body is asking for. Breathing into every cell of your body here, inviting your neck to be long, gaze backwards. Inhale here, lift your gaze, lift your heels. Use your exhale to bring your feet towards that top short line of your yoga mat. Find your half rise here, Ardha Uttanasana, then exhale, soften in. Inhale, both hands to your hips, roll those shoulders open. Use your exhale, rise here. Inhale, stretching up. Exhale, bring your palms through heart center, down by your sides for a moment here. Eyes open or closed, but keep your awareness inwards to this internal landscape of the self. Breathe fully. And as you're ready, invite your eyes to open. Good, let's bring your hands to your hips. Drop your gaze downwards here. Separate your feet hips width distance if they're not already. Keep that space between your feet and your knees as you begin to bend into your knees, dropping your weight to your hips and your heels. Torso is going to stay fairly lifted here as we come into our chair pose. Option to keep your hands on your hips or sweep your fingertips up, sending those arms parallel to your ears. Nice inhale here. Good, invite your hands in front of your heart. Lift one foot upwards. Keep that other knee bent. Step your lifted foot backwards. Root that heel down. Front leg stays bent as we lift our torso up here. Transitioning to our Virabhadrasana 1. Make any adjustments here to your foundation so that you feel stable. So most often I like to advise a widening laterally of your feet to feel more stable. Good, so take a moment here. Send your hands to your hips. Roll your shoulders open. You might even angle your elbows backwards. Good, here we'll invite that Bandha work. So on your next exhale, find that lifting of the pelvic floor muscles, zipping up sensation of the abdominal muscles, drawing inwards of your chin. Release all that as you inhale. Good, exhale freely here. Next inhale, you might choose to lift your arms up, maybe pull your thumbs backwards as you lift your gaze up. Keep your shoulders plugging in, drawing towards each other. Keep radiating out through your fingers. So don't let those fingers get lazy, even though they're lifted and out of sight. Good, bring your palms towards each other, heart center. Spin your back heel in and up. Keep bending into that front knee. We're going to step back into our one-legged chair pose. So root down into that front foot. Keep a nice healthy bend in your knee. And as you feel ready, we'll bring that back knee in and up. And then lower your knee to the ground. Drop your hips down. Maybe stretch your arms parallel to your ears. Coming back into our Utkatasana. Nice inhale here. Exhale, drop your fingertips, lift your hips, transitioning to our standing forward fold. Let this be a pose of surrender, of relaxation. Full body breathing here, making any little movements that your body's craving. Good, next inhale, send both hands to your hips, both elbows point up. Use your exhale to rise. Inhale, stretch out, maybe reach back. And exhale, both hands coming to heart center. Take a moment here, hands by your side, eyes open or closed. Feel into that back line of energy, heels, hips, shoulders, earlobes. Open your eyes as you're ready. Send your hands to your hips. Drop your gaze down. Set your feet, if they're not already, hips width distance here. Good, take that bend into your knees. Drop your weight to your hips and your heels. Try to avoid the knees knocking in towards each other. Keep that nice parallel space between your heels and your thighs. Hands might stay on your hips here, or you might choose to take that reach of your arms upwards. Good, breathing into this strength. Invite your palms in front of your heart. Shift your weight to the foot that lifted last time. That foot is going to ground as we lift our other foot upwards, coming to our one-legged chair. And as you're ready, step your lifted heel back. Root your heel down. Lift your torso upwards. And make any adjustments here so that you feel nice and stable. Good, bring both palms to your hips if they're not there already. Here we'll take another Bandha activation. So nice, easy inhale. As you exhale, find that Mula Bandha, lifting the pelvic floor muscles. Uddiyana Bandha, tightening and drawing inwards of your belly button in and up. Jalandhara Bandha, tuck your chin inwards. Good, release all that to inhale. Relaxing exhale here. And you might choose to extend your arms upwards here, coming into the full expression of our warrior one. And next exhale, bring both palms to Anjali Mudra in front of your heart. Release your back heel up, spin the back toes forward. Feel that rooting sensation in your front foot. Good, preparing to bring that back knee in and up. Take that action when you feel stable and ready. And then root that lifted heel down, bending again into both knees, dropping your hips here, maybe taking that reach of your fingertips up. Nice inhale here. Exhale, lift your hips, lower your fingertips down, moving from our Utkatasana to our Uttanasana. Let this be a recovery pose for you. Take any little movements that your body is craving. Any little movements that will let you breathe more easily. Good, next inhale, send both hands to your hips, roll your shoulders open. Use your exhale to rise. Inhale, stretching up, maybe back. Exhale, bring your palms to heart center. And then down by your hips, coming into our strong mountain pose. Eyes open or closed here, full body breathing. Full awareness of that back energy line of your body. And as you're ready, we'll open our eyes here. Good, standing with both legs straight now, all 10 toes pointing towards that front short line of your yoga mat. Hands here could be on your hips or at heart center. Good, now the leg that you chose to lift up first a moment ago for our warrior one from chair pose, lift that same leg up here. Opposite leg is gonna stay long and strong. Good, try to bring an awareness to that back line of energy in your body. Keep your body in a straight line, nice inhale. As you exhale, bend into your standing leg. Sweep your back leg, that lifted leg back. Keep your heel up, toes down. Bend more fully into now your front leg, and we'll rotate back heel down. Back toes are gonna face that long line of your yoga mats. We're coming into our warrior two. Bring your hands to your hips. Feel yourself equally balanced. So what we don't want is the lean, right, over this front leg. Really want to feel earlobes, shoulders, hips. Heels are apart, but earlobes, shoulders, hips, and then down to the ground here. Good, here we'll invite that Bandha work. So full inhale here. As you exhale, find that lifting of the pelvic floor muscles, zipping up of the abdominal muscles, drawing inwards of your chin. Release all of that to inhale. Maybe bring your gaze forward here, maybe back. An option to lift your arms, coming fully into this expression of our second warrior, Virabhadrasana 2. Good, make any adjustments that your body is craving here. On an inhale, straighten your front leg. Send your hands to your hips if they're not there already. Rotate all 10 toes to face that long sideline of your yoga mat. Next, inhale, reach your arms up. Nice big lift. Maybe even lift your heart, lift your gaze. Exhale, we'll pour ourselves forward and long into a wide-legged forward fold. Go ahead and land your hands beneath your shoulders here. Option for blocks if the floor feels far away. Keep your spine parallel to the earth. Actively press into the outer edges of your feet. Lift up in your inner ankles. Stretch your hip points back. Stretch the crown of your head forward as if you're trying to create space between your vertebrae. Good. Here, we'll invite another activation of the bandhas. Feel free to skip any of these movements if they just don't make sense for you today. But if you're enjoying this bandha work, as you next exhale, find that lift of the Uddiyana Bandha, lift of the Mula Bandha, drawing in of your chin for the Jalandhara Bandha. Release all of that to inhale. Good, exhale freely here. 2 options as we exhale. We're gonna hang out. So you will have time to explore both and choose the one that you prefer. Option 1 is to rotate your fingers backwards. Turn this into a rounded spine as you release the weight of your head down. Option 2 is fingers stay forward and reach off the side of your mat, turning this into a wide-legged downward dog. And so just making a choice that feels like will give you the most benefit in this moment. And then breathe into all of the cells of your body here. Inhale. We're going to walk your hands back beneath your shoulders. Either hop or heel toe your feet towards each other. Send both hands to your hips, roll your shoulders open here. Use your exhale to rise, pressing into the soles of your feet to lift upwards. Inhale, stretch up, reach back. Exhale, hands come to heart center, Anjali Mudra. And then we'll come back to that short front line of our yoga mat. Good. Hands could stay here at heart center. You might feel more stable with your hands in your hips. Let's bring your other knee in and up. Good. Find that straight line of your body. Lifted knee here. Nice steadiness, or maybe not. Maybe we're holding on to support. That's okay too. Inhale. As you exhale, step your lifted foot backwards. Good, bend into your front knee, keep that back heel lifted, and then rotate heel down, toes are gonna face that long line of your yoga mat. Good, if they're not already, send your hands to your hips here. Make those adjustments that your body might need to feel stable and equally balanced between your front foot and your back foot. Good, option for that bandha work here. So nice inhale, fully relaxed muscles. As you exhale, find that lifting of the pelvic floor, Mula Bandha, drawing in and up of your belly button, tightening up the abdominals, drawing your chin in. Release all of that as you inhale. Good, option for gaze forward, gaze backwards. Maybe the arms come up as we come into this iteration of your Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Straighten into your front leg. Rotate all 10 toes to point to the same direction, that long line of your yoga mat. Hands can come to your hips here. Take a nice inhale, reach up, maybe lift your gaze. Exhale, lengthen forward and down. Hands might land on the floor. They might land on some blocks here. Good, so option to do what we did last time, which is that maybe forward fold, maybe reaching back, or we might choose a twist here by walking one hand underneath your nose, bringing the opposite hand to your hip. First, before you twist, lengthen. So find that action of pressing your hips back, of extending the crown of your head forward, and then you can rotate head and heart facing the same direction as the hand that's on your hip. Maybe radiating those fingertips up towards the ceiling. And then an inhale, unwind, sending the palms of both hands down. And if you're with me on twist, we'll prepare for our second side by planting the palm of your hand beneath your nose, sending your other hand to your hip, elbow pointing up. Start gaze down. Find that space between your vertebrae. Nice inhale here. As you exhale, rotate opposite direction, head and heart. Maybe take that flourish, that lift of your fingertips up. Maybe on this side that doesn't make sense. Really honoring what you need in this moment. And on an inhale, lower. Good. Option for Bandha work here. Full inhale. Activate the pelvic floor muscles as you exhale. Abdominal muscles. Bringing your chin inwards. Release all of that to inhale. Step or hop your feet towards each other here. Bring both hands up to your hips, both elbows pointing to the sky. And press the floor away from you as you exhale. Inhale, reach up, maybe back. Exhale, bring your palms to heart center. Good, let's rotate once more to face that front short line of your yoga mat. You don't necessarily have to be at that top front of your mat, but we do want to use the length of our mat here. Good, we'll stay consistent. So whichever leg you've been using to lift first, go ahead and step that leg backwards. We'll keep heel up, toes down. Opposite leg is going to be our standing leg. So feel into the sole of your foot connected to the ground. Good, this leg is going to maintain a fairly straight orientation here. You might bend a tiny bit into your knee if your knees have a tendency to lock. It's a little healthy just to invite a small micro bend. And here, we'll just begin to lean forward. So come into your back tippy toes, pouring more weight into that front standing leg. You might choose to stay here, or you might lift your back foot away from the ground. As soon as your foot leaves the ground, draw your toes in, press through your heel. You might just be lifted a little bit, or you might begin to transition your upper body parallel to the ground. You might even choose to reach with your arms parallel to your ears, coming into our warrior three. Any adjustments here that you need, go ahead and take them. Exhale, begin to transition back, toes down. Hands to heart center. Walk your feet in towards each other. Send your hands by your side. Eyes open or closed, but full body breathing here. Good, if eyes have been closed, let's open them here. Bring your palms towards each other. Step your other toes backwards, heel lifted. Feel into the four corners of your front foot, fully meeting the ground. Good. Option for that micro bend in the knee of your front leg. We'll begin to lean our torso forward. Maybe this is where you're working today with those back toes down, the majority of your weight in your front foot. Or maybe you'll play with that lift of your back foot, that action of pressing through your heel as you draw your toes in. Maybe you'll find more lift, bringing your back leg up to hip height, keeping your hips and heart pointing down. Maybe the arms want to lengthen forward here. Into our third warrior pose, our Virabhadrasana 3. Exhale, transitioning out. Walk your feet inward, send your hands down by your side. Close your eyes here. Good. Let's find our way into a downward facing dog. So from that front line of your yoga mat, maybe taking a lift of your arms upwards, maybe just bringing your hands directly down to the ground. As your palms meet the earth, spread your fingertips wide, step your feet backwards. Good. Option for full relaxation here as we find this lengthening shape of our downward dog, or we can take one more activation of those bandhas. One more sensation of zipping up pelvic floor, abdominal and chin on your exhale. Full relaxation as you inhale and breathe. Good. Let's bring both knees down to the ground. Transition yourself to lying on your back. As you come to lying on your back, keep your knees pointing upwards, feet side by side. Extend your arms into the shape of a T. Press into your heels to lift your hips ever so slightly here. Shift your hips in one direction and drop them to the ground. Bring your knees in the opposite direction. Option to bring the hand that your knees are reaching towards to your knees, or to keep your arms straight. And we'll rotate to look away from our knees. Let your abdominal muscles be relaxed as you breathe here in a reclining twist. Scanning your body, see if you can invite other muscles to also relax. And if your hand is resting in your top knee here, we'll lengthen your arm outwards. Use an inhale to shift your body through center. And we'll take our second side, lifting and shifting your hips in the other direction. Lower your hips down as your knees fall away from your hips. And your chin rotates in the other direction, looking away from your knees. As you breathe here. Inviting a full body relaxation. Inhale, bring yourself back towards center. Let your legs lengthen long as your hands come to rest down by your side. Snuggle your shoulder blades in towards each other. Rotate your palms up if they're not already. Welcome the sensation of gravity pressing your body down towards the ground. Release any lingering tension that's available to be released here. Letting go of any control you've been maintaining over your breath. Feeling your body ease into this state of Shavasana. This posture that allows a stitching together of all of the benefits. It's mind, body, spirit, energetic benefits that are layered in this practice. And trust that exactly what you need is being soaked up now. Any extraneous is falling away. Feel yourself relaxing. You'll even be able to connect with that slight buzz of prana, the energetic life force moving through all the cells of your body. The energetic life force present in all living and non-living entities in this earth. Joining you with all that is. As you're ready here, fighting a longer inhale. Fuller exhale. Inviting some movements as you wiggle into your fingers and your toes. Maybe taking a full body stretch, reaching your toes forward and your fingertips back. And bring your knees in towards your chest, hugging yourself here. Maybe finding slight movement from side to side. Coming back into a comfortable seat. And we'll finish with the alternate nostril breathing that we began with. So you may find that you're breathing differently through your nostrils now. And so the invitation is always available to simply envision yourself following along if you're not able to inhale or exhale through one side. So we'll send middle finger and pointer finger just between and above your brows. You might choose to support your lifted arm with the other hand. Rest your thumb over one nostril, ring finger over the other. And as you're ready, we'll cover your right nostril. Inhale through your left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Find your own pattern here, your own speed. Each exhale followed by an inhale on its same side. Each time we inhale on one side, exhale on the opposite. And the next time you exhale through your right nostril, releasing. If you haven't yet, release this breath. Observe your breathing as it returns to normal. Observe any thoughts present in your mind, noting if your mind is busy or calm. Noticing any emotions that might be present. Noticing your energy. How you feel physically right now. Bringing your palms towards each other, draw your chin inwards. Thank yourself for carving this time out of a busy week to breathe, to connect, and to move mindfully. And sending blessings out to each other and to the world.